What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Hasbro wants another Baldur's Gate game, but Larian Studios won't be the developer. Okay, we're going to talk about 70% of developers worried about the live service model's sustainability, survey shows. And we're also going to talk about Apple removes approved Game Boy app from the App Store. And then, if we have time, we're going to go watch Fallout London's video that they came out with a couple of months ago, just showing everything that was in there. We kind of showed a little bit of it about 3 months ago on GXG, but we're going to go over it, give you my thoughts and talks more, because I saw a lot more videos of people talking about, because the article came out yesterday, and we talked about a little bit about how Fallout London was being delayed because of Bethesda, because they're bringing out Fallout 4's update at the end of this month, and they had to delay it because obviously when they drop their stuff, the creation engine is going to break the stuff that they worked on. So we're going to watch that, and I'm going to give you more of my thoughts on what it is. If you like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations with live chat. If you like that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. It helps us out here to continue making all the content. We do uploads, we do live streams, we do gameplay, we do podcasts. So if you also know a content creator out there that you would think that you would like to know more about, hit me up in our Discord. There is a section where you can submit people that you would like me to reach out to get them to come on the show and have a conversation with. So, all right, so let's get started. Good morning, Eclipse. What's going on? Because Larian Studios isn't money hungry enough for them. Maybe. It does sound a little odd, though, that they're like, you know what? This game was very successful. We should go elsewhere. We should go elsewhere. Like, where else are we going to go to get someone to make a game for us? But we want to make all the money, not what Larian Studios wants to make, right? That's the funny part. I think that's the funny part. So let's start off with the Larian story here. Okay. So Hasbro wants another Baldur's Gate game, but Larian won't be the developer. So in a new interview, Hasbro CEO, Senior Vice President, Digital Strategy and Licensing for Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, can I just say that that title right there alone, like, can we have a longer, more ridiculous title? What do you do? Oh, I'm the Senior Vice President of Digital Strategy and Licensing for Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. Like, get out of here with your pompous ass with the, just say you're the CEO. Like, just say it. They're currently looking for partners for the next Baldur's Gate game. In an interview with PC Gamer, Evans said that we're now talking a lot about partners and being approached by lots of partners who are embracing the challenge of what does the future of Baldur's Gate franchise look like. Now, he continued, so he certainly hoped not another 25 years as from Baldur's Gate 2 to 3 before we answer that, but we're going to take our time and find the right partner, the right approach, the right product that also could represent the future of Baldur's Gate. Yeah, you know what that means. This part right here. But we're going to take our time, right? Because we got to talk to people. We got to find out if they want to make as much money as we do, right? We got to find the right partner. If they have to say the right things, right? They have the right approach and the right product that could represent the future, right? Because Larian said, make a game, sell a game. And Hasbro was like, did you see what Fortnite's doing? Did you see what Call of Duty's doing? They're making money, and all they made was this one game. You guys made a game, and that's all you could sell is just this game. Okay, so Hasbro doesn't want that. Remember, Hasbro has all of these IPs with Dungeons and Dragons, and they have Transformers and G.I. Joe, and they have so many brands under IPs underneath their brand, and they do nothing with them, or they screw them up left and right. It says in March of 2023, Larian Studios' Sven Vägki took the stage of Game Developers Conference in San Francisco and said Larian will be moving away from Dungeons & Dragons entirely and won't be releasing any expansions or major content for Baldur's Gate 3 and Baldur's Gate 4 is absolutely not happening. Okay, just last week, actors from Baldur's Gate 3 expressed interest in a sequel. One such actor included Nuban, the actor who played the iconic rogue So who said that they would also reprise a role in a particular? They explained that I feel I'm not done with him. And they continue that hopefully at some point we're going to be reprise him. So whatever the future holds of Baldur's Gate is uncertain, but it does look like we could be getting at some point in the future. The question is, though, who would you like to develop it? Now, here's a big task, okay? Big task. Remember the articles that were happening where you can't hold us to this standard? I don't think they were talking about other games. Now, if you take that in context of what I'm about to say, is that they said you can't hold the rest of the industry to these standards. If someone else comes along and then tries to make a Baldur's Gate 4, they have big shoes to fill, okay? Big shoes to fill, because they made one of the best games, right? It literally won 5 different Game of the Year awards from 5 different award shows. Like, this is a game of the century, okay? Like, we like games like Mass Effect 2. I love Red Dead Redemption. You might like Elden Ring. Some people might like the God of War, whatever. This game, fundamentally, from their peers, okay, is one of the best games ever created, okay? Larian Studios is an independent studio, took their time, made a game, sold a game, and now Hasbro's like, well, they're not going to take it. Because Larian Studios, maybe they don't want to be pigeonholed. Maybe they don't want to become the Rocksteady where they made the Arkham's games over and over, and then the next game they came out with, people are like, well, we just wanted another Arkham game. Maybe Larian Studios is like, you know what? Let's just make Baldur's Gate, make a game, sell a game, and then let's move on to another game, right? Make that game, sell that game. But Hasbro now has to find someone to fill in the shoes for Hasbro. Or, I'm sorry, for Larian Studios, Hasbro has to find, okay? And when they find that, there's a lot of pressure on whoever that is, right? Whoever that you want that to be, they have to make a game that has to hit the bar. The bar that was been set by Larian Studios for this particular game. I'm not talking about games, all other games in the industry, just for this game. The next Baldur's Gate game has to hit this mark. And if it doesn't hit this mark, bare minimum, they're going to be scrutinized because Larian Studios literally made a masterpiece, okay? So it'll be very interesting to see who Hasbro gets or takes, and then the business model they go for with these live service business models. Maybe the next Baldur's Gate 4, okay, will be a live service game. Maybe there'll be microtransaction stores. Maybe there'll be season passes and battle passes included into it. Who knows? Okay, but again, the scrutinizing will come regardless if the next company that makes it, okay, the next Baldur's Gate 4, it could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now, it could be 15 years from now, right? There would be comparing that game to this game. And obviously, it's not fair, but at the same time, you know, Larian Studios has set that bar, and I think now the people that take this role, okay, have to at least go, you know what, Larian Studios not that out of the park. We have to hit that bar, and if we don't hit that bar, then we might as well not try to make the game at all, okay? These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Who would you like to see take the reins from Larian Studios to make the next Baldur's Gate? Now, maybe they even make an expansion on top of Baldur's Gate 3, right? Now, Larian Studios said they're not making any DLCs for it. Maybe they hire another company to add on to this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, chat. What do you think? What do you think about Larian Studios saying, look, we're done with this, right? We're moving on. We made our game. We sold our game. We're moving on to something else. We want to dig our teeth into something else. And now Hasbro's like, we got to find somebody that wants to do this. Who's that company? Who's that company to come out to make Baldur's Gate 4 or keep adding on to Baldur's Gate 3? This article is a month late. I hope Baldur's Gate 4 has microtransactions and a $40 season pass. There you go, Ron. Come on, Dolphin. Needs to charge $20 per life in the game unless you roll unless you roll a 20. The only company I could see making this is Owlcat. They could do Baldur's Gate 4. What did Owlcat make, Eclipse? What other game did they make? Big T says, well, it's well documented that Larian Studios, because Hasbro fired most of the people that headed up the studio, liked and trust. They didn't like the direction Hasbro was heading in. Hasbro's thinking with the exclusive heads, not the artistic heads. Dolphin says the smart because they never top 3, so they might as well move on and let someone else fuck it up. Right. And, you know, I appreciate what Larian is doing, right? Like, you know, Big T said it, like, they left because the Hasbro, but they also, maybe they don't want to be pigeonholed to it. You know, that's a big commitment to say, you know what, we want you to make the next Baldur's Gate, right? 4 and 5, and maybe you know, Vec is like, you know, I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to do that. I don't want my studio to be known as the Baldur's Gate studio. You know what I mean? Ron Slusher says Baldur's Gate 4 needs to be 3-person squad-based extraction shooter with giant bugs and magical monsters. PL says Hasbro could be doing something better with their time, like a Transformers game. They have a Transformers game coming out, PL. It's part of the Transformers Reactivate. That's their brand. I mean, Splash Damage is doing that with Bulkhead. We're supposed to get some news within the next couple of months about it. But yeah, they're using the IP of Transformers. They've kind of burned the G.I. Joe one. They made a Overwatch type game like 2 years ago that came out, was like a blink of an eye and vanished. They made other Transformers games, like a real-time strategy Transformers game, didn't do very well. The clip said they're pretty much like Larian Studios. They're known for making CRPGs. They made all the Pathfinders, and they made the new 40K CRPG. Ah, okay. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know who I would want to see make that. I'll be honest. If I was the studio that got chosen to make the next Baldur's Gate, I'd be like, I think we have to go a different route. I don't think you can make the same game. I think they change it up. And when I say change it up, I mean take like a God of War side scroller and then make it into what God of War is now, right? You take the Baldur's Gate 3 and you make it something different. Maybe set in the world, but not the continuation from 3 to 4. You know what I mean? Like, you just make something else. Didn't know Hasbro owned Baldur's Gate? They own Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, Hasbro owns a lot of stuff. Hasbro, let me show you what Hasbro owns. Okay. Here's the brands they own. Okay. They own Action Man, okay, Beyblade, Pluto, Dungeons and Dragons, Duel Master, G.I. Joe, Gem and the Holograms, Little Pet Shop, Magic the Gathering, Monopoly, My Little Pony, Nerf, Ouija, Pet a Pig, PJ Masks, Play-Doh, Play School, Power Rangers, Stretch Armstrong, Tonka, Transformers, and Zoids. Okay? They own a lot of major franchises. Okay? I know we don't look at this, but like Nerf is huge, right? Ouija and Monopoly are huge, right? You'd be surprised how many Ouija boards sell every year. Okay? PJ Masks, huge. Play-Doh, huge. Play School, huge. Power Rangers, come on. Right? Transformers, G.I. Joe. They own a crap ton of stuff. What is the thought of Larian was independent, so they couldn't be held back by anyone? I thought Larian was independent. They are. They're not being held back. They're literally not making the next Baldur's Gate. The article is talking about how Hasbro is looking for the next Baldur's Gate developer. You know what they should do? You know what Hasbro should do? They should hold a reality show competition. They get the best independent developers. And they all compete on who gets the honor of making the next Baldur's Gate. Make it a reality show. They'll make more money on the reality show than the actual team making the game. Maybe 343 could take up the mantle? Yeah, I don't think so. They are. This is why they were allowed to leave. It wasn't they were allowed to leave. They just left. They didn't ask permission. It was like, nah, we're good. I think that's the problem too, right? Now you have to think about it as well. Because they made the bar so high, the next group comes in and goes, we got to chop the legs out from underneath it. We can't keep up with them, so we're just going to make a game that's a lot less, right? No matter what happens, we're going to scrutinize the next Baldur's Gate 4 game, or whatever, the next Baldur's Gate game. Yeah, they own so much. And they do nothing with a lot of the stuff. They do nothing with a lot of the stuff. Walt Disney World in 2012 was rumored to buy Hasbro. Instead, they bought Lucasfilm. Then in 2014, Hasbro was in talks to buy DreamWorks Animation. I'm trying to look and see what else they have here. I mean, they picked up Power Rangers from Disney. Disney sold that. Yeah, Peppa Pig is a huge license for them as well. And they just signed a deal with McFarlane Toys. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. Build a time machine and give it to Blizzard in their prime to give it to the Insomnia. You know what, Krebsy, if that was true, I would say Blizzard would be a good one, a good fit back in the day, not now. It will sell like hotcakes. That's why Larian decided not to do DLC or a sequel. They end at the top and let someone else try. Right, Sarge. Go out with a bang. They're like, yeah, buy the game. It'll be $80 always. Baldur's Gate television show? I mean, if Hasbro wanted to do that, sure. I mean, Larian Studios would have nothing to do with it. Disney could have fucked up Transformers rather than Star Wars. That's right. There's still time, though, Dolphin. Don't worry. Is Hasbro Thundercats? I like to see that make a comeback. I don't think they own Thundercats, do they? I don't think they own Thundercats. No, they don't own Thundercats. Thundercats is a franchise based in the TV series created by Ted Wolfe after a media manager's acquisition. The rights to Thundercats are currently owned by DC parent company Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers owns Thundercats. Robert Jones says, I hate that pig. BL says a AAA G.I. Joe game could be huge. Sarge already said what a G.I. Joe game should be. You want to compete with the rest of them? You make a Battlefield, Battlefront type game with G.I. Joe. That's it. Done. Done. Ron says G.I. Joe extraction shooter. Hasbro will just make Baldur's Gate 4 into a mobile. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, Krebsy. Dave Rose says, well, they're already kind of fucking up Transformers. Didn't they recently include a female robot? No. They changed the female robot into a transgender robot, Rose. You gotta get your story straight. It wasn't a problem that they included a female robot. A female robot's always been there. There's been multiple female robots. That's not the problem. Also, they're robots. They're robots. So she's a transformer. That's right. That's right. You couldn't make a new transformer into your transformer. Yeah, you had to make a actual beloved, famous robot into a transformer. Well, it's in the comics. It's in the comics, Dolphin. Yeah, female, and the only reason they added females into Transformers is because they were trying to market it towards girls. And this is why there's 15 male Transformers and like one female Transformer. Okay. If you watch the newer shows, they have, obviously the one girl on one side. It's almost like the G.I. Joe effect, right? Back in the day, you had Scarlet and you had the Baroness. Okay. That was it. You had Lady J, right? Another one. But the reason they added a female into those things is because they were trying to market towards the females, but it never picked up. Remember, G.I. Joe and Transformers were literally created for the fact of selling toys. That was it. The 80s was a crazy time. Right? Back in the day, yeah, girls played with dolls and boys played with action figures. Right? You had your Rainbow Brights, My Little Pony, He-Man brought in She-Ra. They were trying to focus those type of things to the girls, but it just never picked up. Exactly, Eclipse. It's exactly right. Based off of what 30 said, it would be a non-binary since neither got picked. Yeah, Care Bears. Yeah. Newsflash, girls and boys are different. Yeah, to quote the great line from Kindergarten Cop, boys have penises, girls have vaginas. That's a great quote. Which one, Argus? You guys watched the Nintendo Indie Showcase? I did not. Where's that kid now that said that line? I know he's an actor still, I believe. Let's see our next story here. These surveys that they do kind of make me laugh. All right. The next story I want to talk about. 70% of developers worried about the live service model sustainability, survey shows. Survey says nearly a third are very concerned about the future of the trend. A third. Okay, so 70% of developers questioned in a new survey expressed some concern about the sustainability of a live service model. As part of a new survey carried out by the game developer, 600 developers were interviewed between February and March and asked a number of questions about business models, monetization in video games. Now, the participants were also asked on how concerned they would be about sustainability of the live service business model commonly being used today. And of course, asked 39% said they were of somewhat concerned, while a further 31% they were very concerned, and a quarter said they weren't concerned, while remaining 4% didn't know. They're just like, where do I make the most money? Okay. So the live service games are generally defined as which continue to provide regular content after a game has been released or unreleased, alpha, beta testing, early access, whatever. Okay. Such a regular season with battle passes, for example, is an attempt to keep a player engaged and ultimately encouraged to continue spending the game through microtransactions and subscriptions. One of those surveys who said that they were either somewhat or very concerned about the model's sustainability, around 2/3 said that they were worried about the players losing interest in the live service games, or the competition from other live service games would affect theirs. Now, rising user acquisition costs and development costs were also cited as concerns. So let's look at this little chart here. Okay. Sustainability of live service games. 70% of developers have concerns about the sustainability of current live service business models. Okay, how concerned are you about sustainability of live business models commonly in use at present? So again, not concerned 25%, very concerned 31%, somewhat concerned 39%, and then 4% didn't know. It says loss of interest from players and increase in competition are the major drivers of sustainability concerns. What are the main concerns about sustainability of the live service business model? Players losing interest in live service games, 63%. Competition from other live service games, 62%. I think one is kind of like the same as two, right? Because losing interest in live service games, and then also competition from other live service games. Your competition is not just other live service games; it's all games, right? Losing interest and going to another game should be the same. But all right, risers using acquisition costs, 47%, rising development costs, 34%, and competition from other entertainment. Now, the rising development, right, loss of interest, the rising development costs, 34%, they're not worried about that because they'll just throw the cost to us, the consumer, right? So that's why they're not concerned there. Competition from other entertainment. I mean, obviously, that would be a bigger piece of the pie that I would be concerned with than just other games. Again, like, I'm a YouTube channel. I'm competing with not just other YouTube channels. I'm competing with upload channels and shorts channels, and I'm competing with games and television and other streaming services. You're not just competing with that division. You're always competing with everything else because time. You're competing with other people's time. Okay? It said other was 12%, and then 1% don't know. I don't even know what the hell that means. All right, so last month, Warner Bros. Discovery reiterated its plans to increase focus on live service and free-to-play games. Speaking at the Morgan Stanley conference, the company CEO, Global Streaming and Games, JB, said that for the main IP, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, DC, and Harry Potter will be involved in these plans. Okay, we've already seen that, right? We've already seen that the Suicide Squad's a live service game. I still think Hogwarts is going to turn into a live service game down the line. They're going to add like a multiplayer to it. It says, quote, the opportunity to take those four franchises and be able to develop as much more holistic approach, particularly around expanding into a mobility and multi-platform free-to-play space, which could give us a much better, consistent set of revenue, he said. It's also launching later this year some mobile free-to-play games, which we hope are starting to build that. Okay. He continues and says, and the secondary live service is so rather than just launching is kind of one of the done console games. How do we develop a game around, for example, Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter? That is a live service where people can come today and live and work and build and play the world on an ongoing basis. Now, again, this is the CEO, okay? And this is one of the examples he said. How do we develop a game, for example, Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter, okay, that is a live service where people can come today live and live and work? Again, I still think Hogwarts Legacy is going to get a multiplayer. Okay, a developer who also worked on Knockout City also said last month that developers should consider releasing modified private server versions of the live service games when eventually shut down in order to preserve them and make them playable in the future. I think that's a very smart move, right? I think that's a very smart move. If you have a game that you know you're going to shut down, that you make a private server and you put it, so if someone wants to keep playing it, they can. Okay, so what do I think about this, right? So 70% of developers, it was only 600 developers. Now, I don't know if that's companies, just 600 people that work in the industry. But again, a lot of people are concerned about other live service games. And look, there's people that are going to look in the comment section, or they're going to write in the comment section, sorry, no one hates live service games. We're not talking about the consumers. We're talking about the developers. The developers are concerned by this because, again, they're all competing. Right? They're all making a product and they're all trying to compete in that market with that product. And if people, right now, if you make a live service game, you're the king of the crop because no one's got that going. But as more live service games come in, you're just a dime a dozen. Okay? Now you have to try to compete with the same market that you had before, but now you're competing with 10 other games in that space. Okay? Before it was just Fortnite, right? Or just Destiny, right? And Destiny was popular because that was the only thing that was really there, so on and so forth. With you make a BR game, right? Everyone likes that BR, but then there's 10 BR games. It's like, I'm tired of BR, right? You make a live service game, people are like, oh, it's a good live service game, but then there's 10 live service games. You're like, it's another live service game. One person puts a battle pass in, you're like, oh, this is cool. But then everyone puts a battle pass in, you're like, oh, I'm so tired of battle passes, right? And that's the reality of what's happening in the game industry, right? People are trying to do the exact same thing and it gets flooded. I said the same thing with live service and streaming services, okay? One streaming service is fine. 10 streaming services is overkill, okay? And that's the problem with this. When everyone jumps in board, it becomes saturated, oversaturated. Too many people are trying to do this. You could look at across the board, right? Fast food restaurants, video game consoles, handheld devices, right? One comes out and you're like, man, this is awesome. But then there's 10 handhelds and you're like, I don't know which one to pick from. I don't really care. And then it moves and shifts. So the live service model, I don't think is a bad model. I think it's a bad model if you make a bad game. Live service games themselves are not a bad thing. Live service games that are bad games are a bad thing. But that goes for anything, right? Not all games are bad, but bad games are bad. Good games are good. Live service games are good, and there's also bad live service games. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that they have something to worry about as, not as consumers, not as gamers, but as the publishers, as the developers making these games? Should they, if you had a company, should you make a live service game? Is it better to make a live service game than make a single-player, one-and-done type of game? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And if you like what I do here, please check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Dave Rose says, did the Nintendo Showcase show a new Mario Golf? If not, I don't care. August says, okay, I thought I missed it. I had to make sure that the no bots or trolls showed up on the Ginger stream, but I wanted to see if your opinions on it and had watched it. I haven't watched it, and usually I don't watch them right away. My female coworker is a gamer. Didn't start until she was older because someone told her Game Boy is for boys. It's not a game girl. So you can't play. And she didn't. That's not true, is it, Jones? That's not true, is it? Need to talk about this tomorrow. I have plenty to say about this. About what? The live service model, Sarge? No, 30. You're competing with my work. It is true. Said Game Boy. It said Game Boy, not game for boys. The problem, Sarge, with charts like this, right? We'll talk about it tomorrow because you want me to bring it up. But first of all, this article, this survey was done for the article, right? To make a article so people read. They didn't put a survey out long enough, for sure, and definitely didn't ask enough people, right? Can you imagine if I did the exact same thing on my thing as, I mean, we reference it, right? If I go to my channel right now, and I go to the community forum, we get about 150 to 200 people that vote on stuff. Okay? But I'm not going to take the vote. I took a survey and 198 people said that they're really Star Wars Outlaws is the best game, right? Like, there are a few games out that we know, right? And the games, which one are you looking forward to the most? This is before it came out. This is 12 days ago. See how much it changed in 12 days? Right now, Star Wars Outlaws is probably the least popular game that people want to play now because of the price structure. But if I took this and be like 49%, because that sounds like a big number, but you don't actually know the number of the people. If I just told you 49%, half of the population was excited for Star Wars Outlaws, you're like, oh, wow, that's cool, right? So they put pie charts and stuff to give themselves like credibility. Okay. X-Men is for men. No, that's what they told you. No, it's for X-Men. You can only watch X-Men if you were a man. Water says, I think the live arrived models give companies a go-ahead to create half-baked products, and they will just end up fixing it 18, 24 months down the line. I've said this before, Water. I've said this before. A game used to take 3 to 5 years to create, okay? And in my opinion, they were making the game or launching it at 3. But they still had 2 more years to make that game, to actually finish that game. So instead of working 2 more years and releasing it at year 5, and then adding to it, they release a half-baked, broken, buggy, unfinished game at year 3, and then put a roadmap, which is literally just a whiteboard in their office they took a snapshot of and then put it on a piece of paper and then give it to you, to tell you the roadmap of stuff that's coming out over the next time. And they're like, you know what? We could charge full price for this 3-year game, okay? And then make it a 2-year longevity of the game, okay? So you can spend more money, and they can get, instead of getting $60, which is now $70, they can now get $100, $110, $130, $150, $200, $1,000 out of you over the next 2 years because of the live service business model, right? What's going on, Mr. Luke? Oh, Luke, are you available after my stream, like 1 o'clock or so? Because I would like to do the dailies again. If you're not, it's cool. I'm gonna do them anyway. Mike, you're gonna send you my PlayStation 5 and Cyberpunk just so you can see what you're missing. I mean, Roadkill, if you want to, sure. I mean, I have Cyberpunk. I have it. Brainchild gifted it to me 3 years ago. Z says, I'm just wondering, who's paying for this incredible survey for only 600 people just to put up the news item? I don't know. Used to take 18 months, 2 years. Don't give the credits, bro. You'll be on? All right, cool. And now games take 5 to 7 years to create. Okay, 5 to 7 years to create. So obviously, They're going to release it 3 years. It's going to take 3 years, and then they'll drag it out an additional 3 to 4 years. That's what's going to happen. I kind of want to talk about the Fallout London mod, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. We're talking about the 3 main stories, and then we'll go back to the Fallout London thing. Look, don't get me wrong. There are companies out there that take 3 to 5 years to make a video game. They make a game, sell a game. Baldur's Gate 3 was in production for, what, 5 to 7 years, if I'm not mistaken? And 2 years were in early access. Yeah, after 6 years in development and 3 years in early access, Baldur's Gate 3 is now live. Everyone in the world. Okay? Not for everyone in the world. Again, 3 to 5 years to make a game. Baldur's Gate 3 worked on it for 3 years, said we got it into a working order, working state. Let's release it for early access for a small group, whoever wants to pay it. And it was 3 years. And in that 3 years, in that early access, then it launched officially, which would be 6 years in development. And then it came out, and then it was what it was. Okay? It's exactly what the industry does. The difference is, instead of putting it in early access, a lot of companies push gold. Gold. Okay? They release it into the world. Okay? You know who I'm looking at. No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk, Battlefield, right? Fallout 76, they put it into gold, meaning it's out, it's released, it's not in early access, it's not in beta, okay? It's not in alpha, it's not a preview program. They put it out there, and then they fix it over the next 3 years, but charge you season pass, battle pass, microtransaction, loot boxes, all this other stuff, right? Now, obviously, No Man's Sky, CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk, didn't have microtransactions in there, okay? But the fact that they still released it and it was broken, fixed it over 3 years, still says something. Okay? The other games I said, they had microtransactions, battle passes, season passes, or whatever else in there. Roadkill says, hey Mike, just played Phantom Liberty because it came out. It wasn't broken. So it's not like you're playing Cyberpunk, you're playing the DLC. Roadkill, again, listen to why I say this, okay? And I truly mean this. I'm not upset with Cyberpunk 2077. It has nothing to do with the actual game, what state it is in now. I'm not supporting CD Projekt Red because the company lied. Right? You understand? Lots of companies lied, but they did it and knowing they were doing it, which is worse than any other company. Okay? So I'm not playing Cyberpunk 2077 because I'm not supporting CD Projekt Red because of what they decided to do. They made their money. 18 million or more bought that game and are enjoying that game. I have the game. Brain bought it for me. I have that game. Okay? I don't hate the game. I dislike the company that made that game. So I'm not supporting them or playing it. Down the line, I will. But right now, no. No need Q&A. The players are. CD Projekt Red lied. That is all I'll remember. And they can fix it all they want. If Battlefield is out of ideas, they need to start making new games with themes of G.I. Joe, Star Wars, etc. That's what we said. Sarge's been saying that for years. G.I. Joe, Battlefield / Battlefront. How long was Outlaws in development? I think it was 5 years. I don't think it says. It began its development in 2019. So there you go. 2019. If Outlaws was in development for 7 years, I'll say wait another 3 years to play it. You get a full game then. I'm just saying, the game comes out, and then the DLC comes out, the season pass, over the next year. So if it was in development in 2019, in 2020 is when it went into full production. Okay? Full production was during COVID. So they probably had bad time during 2020 and 2021. Okay? Well, if they had problems then they went back into, where they didn't have problems making the game, back in like late 2021, early 2022, and then worked on it for another 2 years, right? So technically it's been, let's just give them 3 years, and then the season pass will give them an extra 4 years. So you might be onto something. Krebsy says, harnessing my inner Mo, this article says devs hate live service is to make it okay. Sony can't release live service. Okay, acting over. I don't know if Microsoft has done some pretty bad things. But Roadkill, am I playing those games? They made it where people couldn't review the old gen copy. The pine for days of Battlefield games with DLC map packs. Quintar says, no, look at season passes. It's all day one. It's not really a season pass. It's trash. No, look at the season pass. The season pass. Oh, you're saying the season pass in Outlaws, Quintar, is all should be in the game day one, but they're separating it out. That's what you're saying. Water says the best live service or games of service is to come out so far has been a $40 title called Helldivers. I'll be honest, the live service model, games that weren't this but are now, years later. Sea of Thieves is a very good live service game, right? Very good live service game. No Man's Sky is a very good live service game. Fallout 76 is a very good live service game. Grounded has been a good live service game. Okay? Because they keep doing constant updates and keep doing certain things. Now, a lot of those games I just named when they came out weren't very good when they came out, but are now. Okay? Helldivers is probably the best live service game from day one. From day one. Which you would hope, because you would hope that they learned from all the other people in front of them that fucked up and made mistakes. They went, you know what? Let's not do what they did. Let's make a better experience for live service. And they've done that, I think. Roadkill says, I know, I just want you to play it. It's really good. I will play it. I will play it. And the best part about this is I actually own the game and I can play it anytime I want because it's not an online game. It's a single player game, and I can always play it down the road. It'll never be taken from me. At least you would hope. Okay? So I can play it down the road 10 years from now and be like, hey, you know what? I finally played Cyberpunk, and man, what an awesome game. Machiavelli says, I'm going to play live service or gas games. Opinions are subjective. Enjoy what you want to play. Sure. Sure, my argument's not that at all. All I'm saying, I come from a business sense, right? You could play whatever you want. You could spend your money however you want. My thing is, if a game comes out and it's broke, buggy, unfinished, and you bought that game, you lose the right to complain about that game. That's all I'm saying. Right? You could complain about the game fundamentally and stuff as far as, like, game mechanics in the game could be better. You can complain that I wish they would do this in the game, but you cannot complain, at least to me, right? If you buy a $150 game and that game was shit, you lose the right to bitch to me. Oh man, I pre-ordered that game for the super special edition and that game was absolute crap. Because in 2024, there's thousands of people that can play, review, show you footage of that game, and if you still make that mistake, that's on the consumer. Yeah, constructive criticism is fantastic, okay? My problem is with the companies that pull this shit. That's my problem, not the games themselves. You understand what I'm saying? We hope the Rocksteady learned from Square Enix, but yet, nope. Yeah, exactly. They made the exact same mistakes. In my opinion, Sea of Thieves is a good game, but okay live service. They haven't done much to involve the game by adding big new things besides Jack Sparrow thing. Not true. Not true, Krebsy. They've added fundamentally better things in that game to make it a better experience while you're playing the game, right? Not only have they added story missions, but they've added things in the world to, like, they're adding grapple hooks and stuff for your guns now. There's going to be, like, sneaking things. You put the barrel over your head and stuff. They've made much better things. A live service game doesn't mean content, DLC, paid content, right? It means that they just keep adding it to make that gaming experience better. I personally, I'm done with live service games. Those are the titles that come out broke, unfinished, because devs use live service as a crunch because they can't release a now, fix it later. Then why is Cyberpunk on that list? That's not a live service game. Cyberpunk is a single-player game, not a live service game, that they had to fix over the last 3 years. There's plenty of single-player games that come out that are unoptimized, broke, buggy, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I know I named The Outlier, okay? But at the same time, there's a lot of single-player games that are coming out like that. The season pass for Outlaws is more like a pre-order bonus, and it's trash. Yeah, I agree, Quintar. Oh, I don't care your score system. I know when you say good 7 or 8, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Sea of Thieves has constantly added stuff to make the game better. Saying 7, 8, 5, 6, good, okay, great, fantastic, that's subjective to the person playing the game. And I understand it's your opinion of saying that Sea of Thieves, you know, it's good besides the pirate stuff they put in. But I'm saying as a live service game, they've constantly, over the last 5 years, 6 years, they've constantly added and made the game better over time. And they don't charge. Zero charge. Let's hope the first Descendant follows the path of Helldivers 2 and not have the same fate as Suicide Squad. When I played the first Defiant, I really enjoyed myself and how they structured the grind compared to what you get. To the, you know what I mean? Like, I log on for an hour, I can progress towards unlocking this particular character or this particular weapon or whatever it is. If they keep it the same, cool. I have a feeling they kind of tweaked it for the betas to make it happen faster. And I think when the game comes out, they're going to make it a little bit more grindy to force you to kind of buy those things. Warframe's been around for years as a game as a service, and it's free. Yeah, the problem with Warframe when it first came out, it was like hitting a wall for new players. Like, it wasn't like a gradual, like, teaching you the mechanics. It was like Warframe, slam into the wall, and then descend, ascend to try to figure it out. And Warframe is a weird beast now, because if you're a new person, there's so much to do in there. The open world, plenty of stories. Yeah, and it's all for free. So if you want to play the game like a single-player game, you 100% can. No other action-packed game like Vanquish. Never played it. We both know that the beta was tweaked. The grind is going to be insane in the real game. I hope not. Because even in Warframe, you can get new weapons and level those weapons up pretty damn good. The grind to get the weapons, if you don't know what you're doing, could be a bit. But if you know where to go and where to grind, which obviously you don't unless you do a YouTube video, okay? But if you just play the game and try to figure it out, it's going to be a little grindy in the very beginning, only because you don't know where to go get the weapon or the drop rate or whatever it is. I enjoyed Warframe, but it's not user friendly. The game is confusing with all the systems. Yeah, it's very and right now, Rose, it's a much better game than it was 12 years ago, right? Or 11 years ago, whatever it was. 11 years ago, I made a video. It was the first video I made on my YouTube channel. My original 30 and Still Gaming channel was a Let's Play Warframe. And it was my very first video, and that's what I first played is Warframe. Then I played Destiny. And it was confusing as hell. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Nothing's explained to you. Is so not friendly for new users. And that was 11 years ago. Now it's a much better space. I like Warframe, but Warframe also takes time. Warframe, because it's a live service game, there's so much story in that. It falls into the MMO category for me. Just too much time. Like right now, I'm playing Fallout 76 again because the show got me hyped in. I'm going back in to play it. That is basically an MMO. I only have time for like one game, right? And I'll probably play Fallout 76 for like a good 2 weeks or so, like nonstop, and then I'll probably weed off and go to something else. What's going on, Kylo? Eclipse says, yeah, it's a lot simpler back in the day when it started. Warframe was not for the beginners. Oh yeah, it was really bad for beginners. Ron Slusher says Warframe and Destiny should join forces. Let me guess, Ron. Make an extraction shooter, shoot some bugs, and call it a day. All right, the next story I want to talk about is Apple removes approved Game Boy app from App Store. Who was it the other day? Was it Kylo? Kylo, did you come in the other day? Or was it Quintar? I forget. It was one of you guys. Or was it Titan? I remember a K in the name. And you said, hey, they have emulators on the iPhone. Get it while you can. I think it was you, Kylo. Was it you? Was that 2 days ago? Was that Monday? It was, right? Yeah. So it was like Monday. You're like, get it while you can. Fallout show is the best bee's knees. Awesome show. 2 episodes left. It's good. It's good. I'm probably gonna watch it again. Dolphin says, fuck. I wanted to download that shit. If you guys like what I do this Monday through Thursday. We just cover news stories, have conversations with chat, go back and forth. Okay. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member. We do live shows, uploads, podcasts, a bunch of different stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming out, showing up. All right, so let's talk about good Apple removes approved Game Boy app from App Store. Okay? Your coworker could not play this, by the way. Okay, Jones, tell her that the emulator is literally just for Game Boy boys. Okay, can't play it. Apple's recent decision to allow game emulators on the App Store took a swift turn as one of the earliest popular Game Boy emulators, IGBA, was pulled due to copyright and spam violations. Now, the IGBA, touted as one of the first Apple-approved Game Boy emulators, was flagged for being a knockoff of another emulator, according to Apple-relied Testa. Okay, the developer behind the well-known Game Boy emulator, GBA for iOS, okay, revealed that IGBA appeared to be a clone of this decade-old emulator. Now, apparently, quote, apparently Apple approved the knockoff GBA for iOS, the predecessor to Delta, I made in high school in the App Store, and shared, and this Tress on Saturday. He says, quote, I did not give anyone permission to do this, yet it is now sitting at the top of the charts despite being filled with ads plus tracking. He also expressed gratitude to Apple's app review process in addressing such intents. In reports indicate that the IGBA violated Section 4.3, 5.2 of Apple's app review guidelines, which also pertain to spam intellectual property violation, although it remains unclear if IGBA was specifically pulled for copyright. Open source emulator. The developer of IGBA later issued an apology. Now, see, what I love about this, I love how someone says something or does something, and then the person responds back to it, and they recoil, right? This happens all the time inside my comment section. Someone says something, tries to correct me or be mean-spirited in some way, say something snarky, and then when I say something back, they're like, whoa, bro, calm down, apologies. And I always find that really funny. Okay, so Apple moves to allow retro game emulator apps on April 5th was part of the update to comply with the European Commission anti-steering guidelines. While the retro game emulators are now permitted worldwide, Apple emphasizes that its importance of originality, not allowing apps that are copies of existing emulators. Despite its initial popularity, the IGBA faced a removal of the App Store, while the emulator 64XL Commodore 64 emulator remains available for download. Though some game emulators have previously made their way onto the App Store, this marks the first time Apple explicitly approved them. However, the fans hoping to enjoy the Game Boy games on their iPhone may need to wait a bit longer as Apple navigates the landscape of emulator apps and its platform. Okay, so there you go. So if you want to go, if you had an inkling, if you just had an itch, you had to scratch. You're like, man, I really wanted to play a really shitty version of my favorite game on my iPhone that no one's playing games on. Remember, chat, you told me no one's playing games on these things, but yet people are downloading this thing left and right because they want a nostalgia feel. They want that nostalgia feel of Game Boy games, okay, on their iPhone or on their smartphone. Look, I'll be honest. The other day when Kylo came in, okay, he said, better download it. Literally, that's what I did. Literally, that's what I did. I went and get an emulator. I haven't played yet. Okay, I don't even know if I can now. But I was like, yeah, let me try it. Why not? Because I liked a couple of games back then. I loved the Teenage Mutant Turtles Game Boy game back in the day. I loved it. I forget the name of it, what the name of it was. But I absolutely loved it. Okay, I get it, right? People love their old stuff. It doesn't matter if it's Game Boy Advance, 3DS, Neo Geo, right? We love our nostalgia of the old games, and we think that we're going to love it. And some of you do. Some of you can log back in, play it, and go, man, I remember when I was sitting in the back of my dad's Oldsmobile playing my Game Boy, right? It brings you back to that moment. Sort of like I tell the story about the root beer. When I drink root beer, it brings me right back to when I was 12 years old, having that root beer for the very first time with my dad on vacation somewhere, right? That's what nostalgia does. Nostalgia is a very powerful drug. And then all of a sudden you come back to reality after I sip my root beer and go, ah, shit, I'm 45 and I'm not that 12-year-old anymore, right? I hope that, obviously, that more of this happens. Now, it's far past where the graphics have been much better now. So the companies look at this and go, go ahead and let them put it up there because we're not going to make money off this. There's not a big, huge clientele base that wants to go back and play the old Game Boy Advance games or the Game Boy games. So like, let's finally just put them up on Apple. And as long, right, Apple's doing it right here. As long as you make your own emulator and don't take someone else's, as long as you don't cheat off someone else's homework, make your own emulator, they'll approve it. Okay, but if you start taking other people's work, I mean, come on, man. Like, do the work. No matter what it is, do the work. Don't take someone else's work and then try to make it yours and then pretend it's yours, right? Make your own work. I read articles. Someone wrote this article. I'm reading the article and making it my own work. I just don't sit here and just read the article to you, right? That would be fucking boring. I give you my opinions based on the article that we have and the titles and stuff and my experience in the video game industry and whatnot of all the years playing video games, right? Make your thing. Don't take someone else's work and then just put it up there and then try to collect the money from them. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the Game Boy emulators coming out? Are you excited for this? Are you going to download them? The correct ones, not the ones that are trying to nickel and dime you for advertisers and your information. Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. I had a fantastic root beer float this past weekend. I went to this local farm about an hour away from here, and they had this. They made root beer floats And I was like, oh man, they had some good soft serve ice cream, but it was just that good enough consistency. And they give you a full bottle, right? It's not the fountain. They give you the root beer bottle. Pop that bitch open, pour it in. So good. I might go there. I might go there after this. That's not true. I'm not gonna drive an hour. But it was like $5, like $5.25. The cup was like this big. It was gigantic. Good helping of there. Love it. Love me some good root beer floats. Wait, they deleted it because it was copied of another app? Yes. Yes. If only Nintendo ported games to mobile. I was playing it an hour ago. It was working great. All right. Good. Good to hear. Elle says, I love Game Boy. Water says, oh man, now I want a root beer float tonight, 30. I have one. They're delicious. There's also this local root beer. I forget what the root beer company is. It was locally brewed here though, or made. I guess it's brewed. Since when do people pay for emulators? Well, there's free ones. There's free ones with ads and stuff like that, Robert. No one does it for free. They got to make money somehow. Pepsi says, Cherry Coke reminds me of going to the movies. Sadly, all the theaters near here switched to Pepsi. 100% contributing factor of why movies suck now. That, I relate to that, Krebsy. I don't like Cherry Coke, but if I put root beer there, right, and you know, if that moment reminds me of that Cherry Coke every time it was a good time as the movies, and they took that away from you, I can understand that. Black cow or brown cow? What's that, Z? I might know it because my wife's family and stuff is from the Midwest. They're from Wisconsin and Minnesota, but I don't think I heard of a black cow, brown cow. Is that like a milkshake? Root beer float should charge you microtransactions for ice cream in the float. They do. Hence why it was $5. It's the combination of root beer with the ice cream. They've combined it to make it the price. Kylo says, if anything, it's better. Since they won't be ads in the apps anymore. Dolphin is free and has no ads. So if it's illegal, it has to be free. This is why the Switch emulator got taken down. Chocolate, milk, and Coke. Oh, I've never had that. I've never had that. Chocolate, milk, and Coke. It sounds a little gross, but at the same time, I mean it's the same, right? You're taking melted. I mean it's different, but I'll have to give it a shot. Is it you have to use like whole milk? Can you use any type of milk, Z? Pepsi's better than Coke. You know, Mo, out of all the stuff you've said with Xbox and PlayStation, right? You mother saying that Pepsi's better than Coke. Now you're just lying. Now you've gone over the line, Mo. I don't care. You can like what you like. Pilk. It's Pepsi and milk. Coke with coffee is great. Coke with coffee? Any type of coffee? Like you just make a brew cup of coffee and just pour Coke in there? Is there a ratio? No Rest for the Wicked comes out tomorrow. I'm kind of disappointed I'm going to be in the early access. I heard the story content isn't complete. Well, then the best thing to do is not play it. Are they charging for it? You know the best part, Mo? Mexican Coke used to be just Coke. Because they use real cocaine. Instead of that artificial sugar shit. Guinness Stout with milk is my good also. Is good also, really? Guinness with milk. Man. You're talking booger sugar. Mexico, anything's better. No artificial, so good. Yeah, we have a couple places over here that give out the full Mexican Coke, and they charge more for it. Those bastards, right? Make the problem, sell the solution, right? All Coke used to be Mexican Coke. Then they changed the recipe to have shitty Coke, and then they make Mexican Coke, and they're like, people will pay more for it, and they put it in the glass bottles. Tuna fish and Oreos are the bomb. Where are we going? Hero comes in here. Tuna fish and Oreo. I'll be honest, Hero. It doesn't sound appetizing. Doesn't sound appetizing. But then again, I'm not a big tuna fish guy. Okay? I'll have to ask my wife. I'll be like, so do you take the tuna fish and then you crumple up Oreos and then throw it in there? Is that what you do? You're just like throwing shit together. Sarge says, that's it. Timeouts are coming. So one time when I was in college, right? I shit you not, right? My wife, who's my wife now, my girlfriend, right? When I was in college, she came over and I was like, I'll make you dinner. I was just making spaghetti and meatballs or whatever. And as I'm making the stuff, I realized I was out of tomato sauce. Okay. So in college, you're broke as fuck. Okay. You're broke as fuck. I'm looking in the fridge, right? I open the fridge and I'm looking around and I'm like, I look at the bottle. I'm like, there's not enough sauce. There's not enough sauce. Okay. My mom would kill me because as an Italian person, you know, you always have to have, it's like a life preserver on a boat, right? You always have to have enough sauce left over. You have to have a brand new sauce. Always stocked and ready to go just in case. Okay. Well, in college, I didn't have it. Okay. So I used barbecue sauce. Okay. Now, my wife, okay, I used barbecue sauce. Okay. Spaghetti and barbecue sauce. Okay. My wife came over and she was like, what the fuck is this? Let's just say we went out to dinner afterwards. Fast forward. Hold on a second, Dolphin. Fast forward 12 years, okay? Now, we're married. It's like 2-3 years into our marriage. We're watching the Food Network. Food Network. And Bobby Filet, okay? The great chef, Bobby Filet, makes a goddamn pasta dish, and he uses barbecue sauce. I look over at my wife, and I'm like, oh, it's okay when he does it. It's okay when he does it. And they're like, man, whatever his name is. He used the same fucking thing. And I was like, you bastard. And she's like, oh, we got to try that. I was like, get out of here. Get out of here. See, the smart part about that whole story is, even though I can cook, I'm a very good cook. I chose to show my wife I didn't like to cook. Okay? So she does all the cooking. And I do all the cleaning. And it's a match made in heaven. Because she's a really good cook. I'm ahead of my time. Root beer floats are amazing. Also, Toot Beat alone as well. I love Toot Beat. What's Toot Beat, Argus? My mom put ketchup on her spaghetti. It's still sauce. It's still tomato. It was all staged. You forgot the sauce on purpose. No, I honestly didn't. I didn't forget the sauce on purpose. It was like a last second thing. Like, just like, I was like, oh, I'll make you dinner. You come on over. I was trying to impress her. Totally didn't impress her. Well, not with dinner anyway. They now sell new flavors of ice cream at stores now. Mustard, ranch, mac and cheese, ketchup, pickle. Now you can level up root beer floats. No, I'm good. I'll stick with the traditional vanilla ice cream. You did give her an impression? Not the right one? No. She ate it. It was still good. It was just a little weird. The barbecue sauce was had more of a tang to it. You know what I mean? So now people put shit all over the. I mean, look what you guys are putting in chat, giving me shit. At least I told the story of my barbecued spaghetti. Water says, who uses other flavors of ice cream in root beer floats? I don't even like vanilla ice cream. But with a float, it's a must. You know, Water, I'm the exact same way. I can't have vanilla ice cream. I will not eat vanilla ice cream. But you put vanilla ice cream in a root beer float, that's it. Yeah, I made her dinner once, but that was the only one that ate out. I can't have vanilla ice cream. I can do swirl, right? We have a place here called Twisty Treat. Really good ice cream, right? I can't do vanilla. I gotta do swirl. I gotta put something on it. I gotta do something. I can't have plain old vanilla ice cream. I want a strawberry root beer float. Can you imagine it? You're working at an ice cream place. You're like, I like a root beer float. Can I have strawberry ice cream? And they're like, no, you can't. We don't put anything but vanilla in here. And they're like, but I want strawberry. Like, not here. Go somewhere else. I don't want your business. I don't want your business. I've done chocolate. It's not the same. Not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. I think it would just be too... I don't think the chocolate would go well. Yeah. Get out of my ice cream store! You want what in your float? Get out of here! Orange creamsicle and root beer float. Rebsy. I don't care if you're a mod. You do not destroy a root beer float with a orange creamsicle. Orange creamsicle alone. Not with root beer float. There's a certain time of the year the grocery stores put out a yellow caped Coke bottles, which are Jewish people for a certain time of the year. They're basically real sugar Mexican Coke for the normal. All the ice cream places around here have high schoolers scooping and probably wouldn't care less. They don't even know how to give change. So you're probably right, Kylo. They probably wouldn't give a shit. You can give a high school student some money and make money back. That's how bad it is when you give cash. And then you could tip them. You could tip them the money they gave back to you. So technically, you're not robbing them. They're robbing themselves. Go to the cheese factory. You can enjoy their awesome treats. Interesting. What do you think about the Boston Cooler? Do you like similar to root beer float? I've never had a Boston. What's a Boston Cooler? That's why I always bring cash. Yeah, you bring cash, confuse them, and you get your shit for free. You make sure you order a lot of stuff, and then you give them a 20, and they're like, all right, here's 22, your change. You're like, okay, here's your tip. Water says, Brewster's had a Sunday brownie with a fudge ice cream cup. Exactly, they warmed up the brownie and drop of ice cream on top. They add chocolate syrup, other toppings. If there's a lava cake somewhere with vanilla ice cream on top, that's another occasion we'll have vanilla ice cream. You make a lava cake, ice cream on top, a little syrup on top, boom, perfect. Root beer ice cream and a root beer float. It still makes me angry. Why would you put root beer ice cream in a root beer float? Come on now. I'm walking away for a second. I gotta grab my more water. Root beer ice cream. Quintar says this is making me want to go full time. All right, let's go somewhere else here. See what else we got. Here's a quick story. Okay. Just a mention. Okay, just a mention. Okay. Tom Warren is talking about how Sony is introducing a new PlayStation PC overlay and shared trophies with Ghost of Tsushima Director Cut. It's the first game with the new overlay and the ability to earn PlayStation trophies just like on PlayStation Console. Uh-oh. PlayStation fans getting little shakes. Are we getting shakes here? Because day and date's coming. Day and date's coming. I know it's just an overlay. It's happening again. It's just here in the article they show the overlays and whatnot here. Right, so they have your friends list, your trophies, your profile. It shows the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, so you can see the overlay of what it is. Sony introducing a new PlayStation overlay. It shares trophies with the upcoming release of Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut on May 16th. The first PlayStation game for PC that uses Sony's new PlayStation overlay, which, much like Steam overlay, will provide access to your friends list, trophy settings, and other PlayStation's account. This feature is also available on Windows PC and will be accessible from the in-game menu or keyboard players by pressing the Shift or F1 shortcut key. It says the blog post, Sony acquired Nexus in 2021, has been using their in-house port developer to bring games like Horizon, Forbidden West, Spider-Man, Ratchet & Clank. Director's Cut is also the first PlayStation PC game to support trophy systems from Sony's consoles. While playing the game, you can also earn PlayStation trophies just like PlayStation consoles. Okay, it says Ghost of Tsushima Director Cut of PC shares the same trophies set as the game as a PlayStation 5 console. Yeah, that's it. It says very low preset, 720p at 30 frames per second. You'll need a Intel Core i3 7100 or an AMD's Ryzen 3 1200 and above, or at least a GTX 964 GB or Radeon R60 55 XT. 8 gig of RAM, 75 gigabyte of SSD space, and if you want to play 4K 60 frames, Sony recommends an Intel Core i5 or AMD 5560 or 5600, sorry. And above that, the RTX 4080 or Radeon 7900 XT with 16 gigabytes of RAM. So Sony increases the investment on PlayStation PC side. Comes months after the company revealed that it's now testing PSVR 2 support for the PC amidst the Sony president, Hiroki Totoki, discussing the opportunity to grow PlayStation games on PC just days before Sony laid off 900 employees. So, look, it's just, I think, another sign that it's getting closer and closer for PlayStation. And again, this is not a big deal. It really isn't. Okay? I say a big deal because I know there's people that get cringe over this because they're like sleeping with the one PlayStation box or they're sleeping with the Xbox box. But this is going to happen day and date for games in the future when Wolverine or Spider-Man or whatever that game is. There will be a game that comes out that is first party on PlayStation and it will launch on PC day and date. It's going to happen. I know a lot of you say that it's never going to happen, and you're going to be wrong. You will be wrong because it will happen. I like the people that always tell me that PlayStation is not a third-party company, but yet they now make their ports over on PC, and MLB The Show is on Xbox. But everyone keeps saying, well, MLB The Show is only on Xbox because the MLB told them they had to do it because the MLB wanted to make more money. And Sony now sees that Helldivers is making more money because it's on PC. So, exactly right. It's not the MLB is telling them they had to put it on there to make more money. They're like, we want to make more money. And PlayStation's like, we want to make more money. And they're like, well, you better start putting your stuff day and date on PC. Those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Yeah, this is definitely going to happen. This is just one small step for gamers, one giant leap for Sony, where now you get to earn the trophies like you would on the PlayStation. So it just makes sense. Now, obviously, I know this game is, 4 or 5 years old, but when they come with the new games, this will be standard. This will be standard when the next God of War comes out, or the next Horizon comes out, or the Uncharted comes out. Whatever they're working on in the future for PlayStation games, there'll be some time down the road. I don't care if it's 2 years from now. I don't care if it's 5 years from now. There will be a time where PlayStation day and date will be on PC and PlayStation at the exact same time. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, please check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. When is it coming? 30? May 15th. I think it's right around my birthday. My birthday is the 12th. When did they say it's coming? I think it's coming in May. I don't know the May 16th. May 16th. It's just shortly after. I keep hearing it's day and date is coming for like first party, but when? Oh, we don't know when, but it's going to happen. See, the difference between someone saying never happening and me saying it's going to happen is that I will be right at one point, and the person that said never is going to be wrong. I can see more PlayStation first-party games on PC, but never on Xbox, though. Yeah, I never said it was coming to Xbox, PL. I've never said that PlayStation's coming to Xbox. Okay, like first-party titles. I don't think you'll ever see a God of War come to Xbox. But you will see God of War, the next rendition of God of War, coming to PC and PlayStation day and date. I've never once said it would come to the other console. Because PlayStation just won't do that. They don't need to do that. It would be different. It would be different if the roles were reversed. If Xbox was winning 4-1, okay, 3-1, 4-1, and PlayStation was in Xbox's position where they wanted to get to more reach to people, then they would. Hence why Xbox doesn't care, and they're putting it everywhere, because that's what they want to do, because that's how they make more money. But we're not in that situation. Sony is ahead of them. They are the market leaders in the console space, so obviously they don't need Xbox to put it on Xbox. I've said this in Discord a few times, a multi-paragraph explanation as of why PlayStation won't do day and date with PlayStation existing. It's being primary front. This is key, but sadly, no one read it. Sony's missing a bunch of gamers on PC. Yeah, they're missing the majority of the gamers. Majority of gamers play on PC. All right, let's go over to Fallout. There's two little stories. Two little stories. Dolphin says, "Oh no, we read it. You're just wrong." So, with the hype of Fallout TV show out, more people are buying Fallout 3, 4, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, Vegas, 76. All of the Fallouts are either more people playing, more people buying, more people enjoying. Okay. Fallout Shelter daily revenue up 232% as hype continues. This game is actually a really good mobile game. I don't know if you guys have ever played this game. I played it 6 years ago when it first came out, right? When they first announced Fallout 76, and this was at E3 and it dropped that day. I was one of the people that played it on Twitch for the very first time. It was like me and like 2 other people. I had the most viewers I've ever had in any stream I've ever done in my entire life, live stream. I had 1,600 people watch me live play this game, and they absolutely loved it. Okay. So Fallout Shelter daily revenue was up 232%. Hype continues. Okay. It was recently revealed that Fallout Shelter Bethesda Game Studios' free-to-play mobile title, which is a long since moved to other platforms, has undergone an explosion of popularity since the successful television series dropped on April 10th. Before the show debuted, Fallout Shelter was reportedly pulling in around $20,000 a day in revenue, which is that's pretty freaking good, right? $140,000 a week, or yeah, right, a week. So, but now it's hitting $80,000 a day as more players are finding their way into the charming entertainment minigame. It's actually a really good game. One of the best Fallout games. Immediately, Fallout Shelter should be classed as one of the best Fallout games ever made. Right? It's been active for almost a decade and remains strong and pumped full of updates by Bethesda. The core gameplay loop sees players build their own vault and undermine locations, constructing a series of rooms, facilities, and managing residents over time. There are missions, excursions to lead challenges to compete, and above all, safety of the vault's occupants and guarantee. Now, as it's free-to-play games, tens of millions of people have invested time into Fallout Shelter's ecosystem, and since Amazon's television show debuted, the number has swollen. It was revealed by the GameIndustry.biz that downloads rose by 20% a day after the series was released on Prime Video. Now, Fallout Shelter is available on all platforms, but it also started life as a mobile exclusive game. It was ported to consoles in 2018 and is now a staple of the franchise. There's also no expectations of Bethesda Games Studios will slow down consistent development on the game anytime soon. Yeah, You want to talk about like live service games? I played this game for about 3 years on mobile. I played it on the PC as well. It really is a really fun game. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Let me see if I can bring up some footage of it. It's actually a really fun game. And the article says it's probably the best Fallout game. I would agree with that. It's just a fun time. If you want to just kill some time. Let's see here.
Hey everybody, I'm Blitz.
Let's show. Right? It's like so simplistic, and it's like almost like if you guys ever played Sim Tower back in the day. It's Sim Tower, but Fallout themed. Okay? It's Fallout themed. And it's just a fun thing. You're leveling up characters. You get raided by raiders. You're upgrading your facilities and all this other stuff. It was a good game. It really is a good game. Now, obviously, it's a mobile game, and but $20,000 a day on average before the show came out, that's pretty goddamn good, right? $20,000 a day. Oh, $20,000 a day. Let's do a little bit of math here, right? 20,000 a day. That's $7.3 million a year on Fallout Shelter. Pretty good. Pretty good. Now, they've I don't know if they can keep it, but if they keep it, that's $29.2 million a year if they kept it at the 80,000 a day, which obviously that's not going to happen. Okay? Let's see what you guys are saying. I never played the PC, but headache downloading the Cinders and drivers. This is the game that's aren't compatible. Oh, I was so hooked to Fallout Shelter as well. Yeah, it's a good game. It really is a good game. Where's Starfield Shelter? Well, they would have to make a different game. There is no Shelter in Starfield. Mo says, I enjoyed my time at Shelter. This game was boring as hell. I mean, it's a management game, Rose. And for the little time that I've known you, you don't like these games at all. So, of course, you would think it's boring as hell. It has an XCOM look to it. A little bit, Jones. Yeah. Yeah. I bought an Asus ROG 2 phone just for that game. Did you really, Quintar? Go on, dog. Good afternoon. They could do a Starfield Outpost game just like this. Starfield Outpost. That would actually be interesting. Only to get the prompt, your shelter's under attack. It's like the XCOM building part of the game. It is. And you can level up your character. I would have to go back. I don't even know. I still have it. Would it save my game? I don't even know. I haven't played it in years. It's been a good 5-6 years since I played. I think it released in did it release in 2016? Or was it 2014? When did this game come out? I gotta look it up. Holy shit. It came out in 2015. I totally forgot about that. It came out during Fallout 4. I totally forgot about that. So I played it for 3 years. So when it came out to console and stuff is when I stopped playing it. Yeah, it came out before Fallout 4. They literally announced it at E3 when E3 was still here. They announced it at E3 and said it's live now. And then I used to stream. The worst part about this is I was streaming then. Okay? Right? I was streaming on Twitch, and I shit you not, there was so much interest in this game that I had 1,600 people live watching me play a mobile phone game. Because I had the capability of plugging it in and capturing my device. So people were like amazed by this. I can't believe it's been that long. That's crazy. So this game's as old as Destiny, and this is a live service mobile phone game, and it's still around. 9 out of 10 on Steam for reviews. 71%. It's been nominated for multiple awards. That's amazing. Yeah, same, Quintar. I was hooked. Starfield's space station must protect inhabitants from asteroids, solar flares, raiders, mysterious space whale. Join the factions, help us stay alive. Resource, buy today, $5.99. Good old Twitch days. Glad you were out. You were on there, and this is why I discovered you during the Avengers days. Was I there for Avengers? Oh, I was. Yeah. Avengers. I got off of Twitch 4 years ago. Has it been that long? Because I went to. It's been a long road for streaming for me. It went from Twitch. Actually, it went from Justin TV to Twitch, from Twitch to Mixer, Mixer back to Twitch. Twitch to YouTube, and I've been on YouTube, and I don't want to go back to anywhere else. I was debating if I should stream multiple things and like go to Twitter, but I don't want to do all that shit. Genshin Impact is also a mobile game, making more money than God. Yeah, Genshin Impact, when it came out, we played it as well, and I was like, man, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful game. But my mind was blown that it was a mobile game / PlayStation console game, and I was like, this is where it blurs that line. Then Fortnite went to mobile, right? Call of Duty went to mobile. No, I have a lot of. I was there for a while on Twitch. Yeah, because I went back and forth. I would host or raid. What was his name? I know his real name. Revealing too much. I would pass it over to him, and he was number one in the directory for Marvel's Avengers. There was a small moment of time for maybe a month and a half. I was like the lead in the directory with Marvel's Avengers. I didn't even know it was there, Mo. I'll take a look at it when what it is when I get off stream, and then we'll what's it called? Maybe I'll play that tonight. If not, I'm gonna play more Fallout tonight. That's where I met Fate, right? Because I would go to Revealing Too Much. I would host him. Old Head. Who else? There was a couple people in that group that we would all go into different people's streams. I liked Marvel's Avengers, man. Marvel's Avengers was a good time. The community was good. That's funny, Quintar. That's funny. Yeah, and then when I came over to YouTube, that was the time that I was just kind of like separated. Couldn't host, couldn't do anything. Yeah, Johnny Rocker. Yep. Your last Twitch stream was January 21st, 2022. Man, was it an Avengers stream? Was it an Avengers stream, Krebsy? Yeah, I saw Sadat about a week ago, right? About a week and a half ago, he hit 100,000. He blew up big time within the last like year. Sadat did. Why did I leave Twitch? I just didn't like the culture. I didn't like what Twitch is and what I wanted to do. Twitch was punishing me because even though I'm a live stuff, it's not a video thing, right? There's no one watches your videos afterwards. It's only live. And I really like I like Mixer better, to be honest with you, Dolphin. But YouTube, I just looked at the longevity, right? Think of it this way. Think of it this way. Twitch is the Xbox of this industry, where YouTube is the Sony PlayStation. Okay, and what I mean by that is that not by the quality of what it is, just the masses. More people play PlayStation than Xbox. More people watch YouTube than watch Twitch. Twitch is good for certain things, but YouTube, there's billions of people that watch YouTube, okay? Where there's millions of people that watch Twitch. So in YouTube, I'm in this giant ocean of possibilities where Twitch is a really large lake. Just played Fallout. It's closed beta, and I think it's done today. But I put it in Discord a few days ago. It's a great looking game for MMO. Picking up it easy as hell. You did a 3.5 talk show for 25 minutes of Avengers. I think that's when Bucky released. Oh yes. Yeah, we were talking about the ads the other day. It's not in the middle of the show, is it? It was at the beginning. Or was it during the show? Well, that's cool, Rose. And I'll be honest, I don't like YouTube for certain things, Dolphin, because I want to make, and this is why I'm not successful on YouTube, right? To talk about this for a second. I'm not successful on YouTube because I don't play the game that YouTube wants me to play, right? Like, if you look at successful YouTubers, they want to make, and I have multiple channels, but I wanted my YouTube channel to be like a television network, like an ABC, CBS, Fox, whatever, where you come here and you watch certain things, right? And YouTube wants you to make separate channels for everything. So there's people that have just a shorts channel, they have a live channel, they have a gameplay channel, they have all this other channel. And I was so stubborn because I truly believe that I don't want you, the viewer, to go to like 15 different fucking channels. Do you know what I mean? I just want you to show up to my channel, and I want to make it where Monday through Thursday, I do my live show. Thursday nights, podcast. Gameplay. It's a time slot on my main channel. So I don't want any kind of confusion from anybody that watches my show. I just want them to come, enjoy the channel, and that's it, right? But YouTube doesn't want me to do that. YouTube wants me to push over that channel, push over this channel. And as the content creator, if I make a separate channel, I have to make that channel up to a certain point so it gets monetized. Well, I can just keep that over here and be monetized and just leave it all on one thing. But then it punishes you because of the algorithm. The algorithm says that, no, you're a gaming channel, so you can't talk about entertainment. No, you're an entertainment channel. You can't talk about this. And that's what I don't like about YouTube. Thanks for becoming a member. The only person besides Dr. Disrespect that I watch on YouTube. I really don't like YouTube streaming. Dog says, I personally didn't get on with the streaming on here, but maybe it's just the games I played. Quintar, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate that. Thanks for becoming a member. He says, not Luke. He doesn't deserve it. Yeah, there's a problem with, because YouTube wants you to do becoming a member. Like if I just made, YouTube wants you to do this, right? If you're a bigger streamer, let's say like Skill Up, right? He started with just Division, right? He started with just Division, or Upper Echelon just started with Division, and they just one game, constant one game. Build up your clientele, and then switch over. Because once you're above a certain point, YouTube doesn't care. Okay, I gotta put in tags and paragraphs and keywords and all this other stuff just to get seen in the algorithm. Where they're big and popular. They just put the title. They don't put any kind of links. They don't put any kind of tags. They don't do anything. They just put the video live, and that's it. And that's the problem with YouTube, right? They really want you. It's like grinding in a video game. The grind in the beginning of the video game is so grindy, but then once you're in the end game, it's so easy. Okay. Now, I'm not saying YouTube at the higher levels is easy. I'm just saying that the grind is not as grindy to get to that point. Just news channels, just Marvel games, just podcasts. Right. I streamed FIFA. Just had kids telling me open up packs, sat on 1 to 2 views. Maybe I thought I'd be bigger. Yeah, see, I don't like doing stuff like that. But you know what I mean? Like I like doing what I want to do. Like right now, I'm talking about this because that's what I want to talk about. I think there's a thing about Twitch. I mean, Asmongold does it correctly. He's on Twitch, but he doesn't charge any monetization. He's just on there because that's where live streaming goes. If I was a live streamer right now over on Twitch, I guarantee you my viewership would be 3 or 4 times larger than it is right now, doing exactly what I'm doing right now. But I just don't want to do it over there. Elle says, I hate Twitch so much that it definitely is a cult-like echo chamber. I don't know if it's a cult-like. I really like building up a community over there, like going back and forth. I did the same thing with Mixer. There was a couple people I would always toss it over to because I liked the way they were streaming. I liked the content they were making. Like, I know that when I stream a game, most people don't care about me streaming the game. But it's not really for you guys. It's for me. I want to play video games. I love playing video games, and the only time I have is in the evening. And I was like, well, if I'm going to play, I might as well stream. That's called stubborn. Stuck in the ways, Taurus much? Yeah, I know. Creature gets mad at me. I don't know, mad. Upset with me because I don't play ball. I am playing ball. Right? I am playing ball. I'm making my shorts. I didn't make a short for the video that's popping up today. But my videos are doing pretty... For my size channel, my videos do really well. Really well. Right now, how many people do I have? How many people do I have? Right? I have 40 people. I have this hidden so I don't look at it. Right? 40 people. Now, some of you look at that and go, it's not good. Go look at a channel 10 times my size. Do a live stream. 10 times my size. And see how many people they have in their live stream. A lot of them have like 50 to 80. Okay? They'll have like 100,000 subscribers. Right? And they'll have like 40 or 50 people watch them. Oh, I know, Krebsy. I know. Was buying microtransactions and burning $20 bills in real life to prove a point. I love watching his content on YouTube. Love watching his content on YouTube. I like watching Dr. Disrespect on YouTube. It's a much better experience than watching him on Twitch. I just refuse to play ball about the same game over and over and over and over. And I mean literally the same game. Like, I've got to play World of Warcraft. I've got to play this one game. Because even then, look at my Gotham Knight videos when they came. When I started this channel, to get to monetization, I played ball. I made Gotham Knight videos on the game that I was interested in playing. I didn't force myself to play a game I didn't like. Okay? The game got lambasted. It was just destroyed. Okay? But I made Gotham Knight videos, and I have 15,000 views. At the time, I had less than 100 subscribers, less than 300 subscribers, right? It got me to monetization within 3 months. We have a Critical Role that pulls in 30,000 per stream playing D&D. And then Mowing Guy pulling in 1.5 per video, doing something wrong. I know what I have to do to make my channel much bigger than it is. But at the same time, I don't want to do it because that's not who I am. And I don't look at the number, right? Every once in a while, if I'm going through my channel here, I'll look and see it, like I'll glance, but I don't ever keep the number on screen on how many people are watching, because I just want to be me. I just want to talk. I want to have conversations with you guys in chat, read what you guys are saying, bounce off back and forth with that. Now, obviously, if we ever become a bigger channel where there's 1,000 people watching me, it's going to be really hard to read everyone's comment. That's just the way it goes, right? You have to like break it down from ones that you see, people that you know, ones that stick out. Throne and Liberty. I'll check it out. Is it if it's still going, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, but I think if you like a game, right? I think if you like a gaming, the views and stuff will come. It's very hard. You also got to remember, these developers are having competitions with each other to try to make a game. One's a first-person shooter game, one's a real-time strategy game, one's a battle royale game. Nothing's alike, but they're all competing for the same time. So if I'm playing a game, and let's say, for instance, right now I'm playing Fallout 76 because I like Fallout 76. I've liked it in the past. I mean, I had over 200 hours in it. I'm playing the game because I want to play the game because I'm enjoying it. But I don't think I'm going to take bigger viewership where someone's been in the directory or been making content for that game for the last 5 years, right? There's no way I'm going to compete with that, because that's what they've been doing. They've dedicated their whole channel to that game. I'm coming along as like on vacation. I come in, I'm like, hey, I'm playing Fallout 76. If you're like, oh, this guy's playing Fallout 76, let me try. At that moment, I have to try to capture those people to like me, not the game, not the content that I'm talking about, but me. Right? The key I don't care is others are doing the big ones already established on one day. They'll be gone and replaced by others. Right. I love what Asmongold does. I like his content. I like content like that, where he's just watching stuff or playing stuff and giving his opinion. His opinion is not law. He just makes his opinion interesting. That's it. He's not being fake or false. He's just giving you his opinion. And people can not like his opinion, but the fact that they're still there watching him give his opinion is the content. Like, I try to just stream FIFA. Mental health wasn't great with it, and I hated going live. Yeah, if you don't like that stuff, you can't do it. You have to have a thick skin, okay, to be a streamer. You have to have a thick skin to be a streamer. And it's constantly. There's days that I don't want to stream just because it is taxing. Because not mentally, it's just I'm just like, I don't know if I want to play today, or I don't know if I want to. Like, I literally stopped caring about what I'm going to talk about. I mean, I literally shit you not. I have no idea what I'm talking about until an hour before I go live. I literally go live, and Krebsy or Dustin or whoever's submitting stories in the thing, myself, I'll just see stories and I'll throw them into the submitted story section, right? Submitted story section. I sit down on this computer and I'm like, all right, let me make a thumbnail. What do I want to talk about? I go down the list of Discord. I click on it and I'm like, I'll read the title and go, what's my thought process? Just on the title. I don't read the paragraph below. I just look at the title and go, all right, I can talk about that, right? So when I read the article on stream, where it doesn't sound very good because I'm literally reading it for the first time on stream, that's giving you my official release of thoughts on what I just read. And then I give you my opinion on it, right? And that's it. Some stories make it. Some stories are better than others. But that's not the product. The product is me interacting with you. Force Gaming and Asmongold both said Throne and Liberty was a disaster. Take that for what you will. L says, 30, why not play ball until you get 100,000 subs? Because 100,000 subs, if I have 100,000 subs, L, and let's say 80,000 people don't care about what my content is because of the thing I'm posting, that destroys my channel. Okay? Because they're conditioned to know that, oh, he's a Division guy. This is why I follow him. I follow him because of Division. I follow him because of Fallout. I follow him because of the latest, greatest thing. Okay? And they're there for just that. They're there for just that story or that game. And what that does is, if I have 100,000 people and then I stop playing that game, and then I post a video, and that video doesn't do good because they're like, oh, well, I don't care about said game, I don't want those subscribers. The reason my other channel died was because I was mostly a Destiny streamer. Okay? And because I was a Destiny streamer, I had 1,300 or was it 2,000 people or close to it, whatever. I think it's at 1,300. We lost a bunch of people, right? But 1,300 people and 40 people watch my videos because the other 1,260 didn't give a shit unless it was Destiny. So it destroys. This is why I've said in the past, I would rather have 1,000 subscribers and 1,000 views, because that shows that I have 100% ratio of people that like the content, what it is. So if I play ball and make content based on whatever the latest, greatest thing is for the game, people are going to come in, and then when I make something else, it's going to ruin it. I would rather take the time to make the flower bed, plant the soil, water the plants, and then the people that come in and watch my content know the content because it's me, right? Which is not very good business sense if you're an investor. You don't want to invest on a person, you want to invest on the business, because if I get hit by a bus, it's over. Okay? But as a content creator, I want people to come to my channel because of me, not because of the game I'm playing, because they just want to talk to me. Did you see Twitter is trying to cancel Marcus Brown for being honest about his review of Twitter? Is it a joke? Yeah, whatever. It's one of those AI things that you put on your chest. Oh, the little thing that we showed a couple weeks ago. Like a $700, $800, Alexa type of thing. Trying to cancel someone only makes them bigger now. Well, the problem is, if you're trying to cancel someone, if that person doesn't give a shit, you can't really cancel them. See, I love Carnage. I think he's when I watch Twitch, I would watch only him. This is why I never played in the beginning. I never played Witcher 3. I watched him play 115 hours worth of it. I played other games. So if there's certain games that come out, that's probably one of the two people. There's a couple people I will still watch on Twitch, which now he's on YouTube. So now I don't really have to go to Twitch. One is Carnage. Love Carnage. Okay. That the content that he makes and the way he talks and the way his community is, love it. Okay. A second person that I love watching, which Carnage is on a show with, that my longest standing, I don't even watch Twitch anymore, but I still, what's it called? I give my free membership, whatever, every month to It's Me JP. Okay. I love It's Me JP because he does different podcasts. He doesn't give a shit. He does his podcast. He does role-playing stuff. He does, he does his drop frames. He plays whatever games he wants. He plays, and I would love to be in a situation like he's in, where you just play what you want, sponsored stream, advertiser, whatever it is. Right? Those are the people, and then I like Asmongold. Everybody else, I'll come in and out of their streams. I'll see someone make good content on YouTube. I love watching YouTube. I love watching people do different things. I'm amazed by what YouTube is, on how someone could clean carpets and make, millions of people watch, or someone just talking about a video game and millions of people watch that. I just put a trailer in the game trailers. All right, let me check it out. All right. This is the thing right here. Like, Mo put something in the trailers, and I'm talking about something, and now I'm moving over to something else, right? That's what I like. Okay, so this is a trailer of Throne and Liberty. Okay, let's watch this. Let me make sure it's normal. Okay.
Our vast and beautiful world is on the brink. Its salvation depends upon you. You will be overmatched and outnumbered, but that will not stop you. You must claim the throne.
Okay. This seems interesting. Oh, is it made by Amazon? Published by Amazon Games. Okay. Okay, so let me start back at the beginning here and watch this again. Here's my thing with any kind of new MMO coming out. You're competing with the market that's been here for 20 plus years. No matter what happens, right? So right now, if you're playing an MMO, you're playing World of Warcraft, you're playing New World, you're playing, I don't care if it's Fallout 76, you're in an MMO right now, okay? Final Fantasy, whatever it is. This game has to pull you from those games. What's going to do that, right? What's going to do that? So when you look at this, you're like, okay, why am I going to play this game? Okay, cool. There's a castle type of, what are those things called in the old medieval times where you push it? I forget the tower or whatever, right? But he's walking. All right, that seems pretty cool. Large-scale battles. Check. Okay, so I can get into PvP combat with these awesome large castles and fully destructible environment, which it looks like. Okay? At least of the cities. Then you go look at it and go, okay, vast open worlds. I get that in the game I'm playing right now. Okay. Graphics look good. The graphics look good. Gameplay. Why am I going to play this over something else? All right, cool. I get to fly and transform into a fish. All right, that seems pretty cool. I can gather up with a group of 5 people, me and 4 other people. Okay, graphics look pretty good, right? The content looks pretty good as far as the... Hold on a second. Let me get back to that point. Large open world. Cosmetics look good. Now I'm asking myself, is this pay to win? Season pass? Is it a monthly fee? Free to play, right? Big monsters, large scale battles, lots of group of people, lots of NPCs. Okay. Are these companions? Is this us traveling and like, these are our mounts? Like we're turning in? Okay. That's what it is. We're turning into them. Okay. So you travel around. Is it drop in, drop out? You have to go in. Is it PvP in the open world? Yeah, I see lots of people. Okay, this is intriguing to me. Is this instances? Right? Is this instances in this? And again, I asked the questions. This is me just the way my brain thinks as I look at the trailer. Cool little beasts. Is it fully destructible environment or only certain places that it breaks apart? This looks crazy. I don't know what's happening here. When I saw this, I thought of hold on, where was it? When I saw this, in my head, I was thinking of Albion Online when I see this, right? Like large scale. Like, is this 100-player, PvP? Is this a PvE against a bunch of NPCs? This seems pretty cool. Is this like a raid? All right, maybe what we'll do, maybe we'll play this tonight. I'm gonna play this afternoon with Mr. Luke in Fallout 76 this afternoon before I have to go pick up my son. And then maybe we'll play this tonight if it's still up. Give it a shot. But yeah, that's the way my brain works when I look at stuff like this. Now, why would I play this game? Now, obviously, I'll give it a shot because it's an open beta, okay? But it's like, what's gonna pull me from that for the next thing? Why should I stop playing if I'm playing New World? Why should I stop playing New World to go play Throne of Liberty? If I'm playing World of Warcraft, why should I stop playing World of Warcraft to now go to Throne and Liberty? This is what's really really hard to pull people from one MMO to the next MMO. I'll wait for the Lord of the Rings MMO they're making for the New World devs. I like it better than Final Fantasy 14. Well, sure. It's what, 14 years newer? And is really pay to win. Is it? Drawbridge. Just signed up. Jump on the flying whale to collect a doll. 5 other people. 6-man squad. Impressive it doesn't have loading screens. Ghost Fixer says looks good. This might stop me from returning to Final Fantasy Online. See? Might. Because you're having so much fun in Final Fantasy, you're like, should I go over to there? Probably microtransaction horse armor. You still have today? Okay, I'll check it out. Love a good horse armor. All I see is running and visuals, but I'm jaded after watching Asmongold and Force Gaming videos. Oh, maybe we'll watch Force Gaming's video tomorrow. If I don't get to play it tonight, maybe we'll watch his video tomorrow, and we'll react to that. I haven't stopped playing since it started. Yeah, but Mo, no offense to you. You switch games a lot, right? And I know you dive into a game and you play it, so you'll play everything, right? And because you play everything and you give everything a try, I can't trust you fully that it's good or not. Because you'll play games regardless if it's good or not because you enjoy games. And that's not a dig on you, okay? That's not a dig on you. I respect it, okay? Because you're not jaded like me, where I'm like, I don't know if I should give time towards this game, okay? You give games, no matter what the game is, you give it a shot. Which I 100% respect that. It does look interesting, but it also looks generic. It does look generic. All right, we're going to watch this Fallout video. We're going to watch this Fallout video. Get some information. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. We'll try. I won't speak as much. This is the Fallout London, right? So for those of you who want to know what the Fallout London game is, listen to all the information that they've done, okay, for volunteers. And we'll talk a little bit about this compared to what Bethesda is doing and whatnot, right? Oh, this is mute.
Greetings and welcome to the latest update for Fallout London. This will be our most significant update to date, revealing more than ever before about what we have been working hard on for the past few years, laying out the path to release, and announcing our official release date. Over the past 3 years, a core team of at least 50 people spread over each core department have spent tens of thousands of hours on the hard graft and development of the game-sized mod Fallout London, with over 200 individuals contributing in some way to its completion. After all,
over 200 volunteers that they chose to do because they wanted to make something, a project together. What's so cool about this is that people got together to do it, right? They're like, yeah, I'll help you. I did this in Minecraft back in the day. There was a Game of Thrones server, and I made a couple of buildings, or I didn't make buildings, but I helped create a portion of stuff inside the game, right? Because they wanted to make all of Westeros, okay? It's stuff like this that I think is really cool. A lot of people look at this and say, like yesterday we were talking about how Bethesda was launching theirs, and because they're launching theirs, they're being real assholes to like these developer fans, okay? And the reason they're doing this is because they love the Fallout series, right? These are all volunteers. They're just modders that just love to do what they do. And there's a lot more freedom there because there's not a stringent plan and investors behind them trying to make this game off of IP that they don't own, right? This is in their free time making this and doing what they're doing. And there's a difference between why modders can do what they do and why developers can do what they do. It's not because they're lazy and they can't do stuff. It's because everything they make or do has to go through a chain. And that chain goes, yay or nay. Where modders are like, I think we're going to do this. They're like, sounds good.
All this hard work, the game is now at a functional content complete stage. However, due to some unforeseen delays, we have not completed the polish and testing we want to do before release. And so, we will be pushing back the release to a few months later than originally planned. We'll explain more about this.
And this is 3 months ago. So this is delayed before it was the new announced indefinitely, right? This was supposed to come out at a later date, and now it's getting pushed back even more.
The road to release later in the video. With these unforeseen changes, we wish to give you a taste of everything that is upcoming to show you all the hard work we've been doing. Building London. In the radioactive playground of London, our world spaces and level design aren't just blueprints. They're the walls in which players graffiti their own tales. We're not building mere levels. We're in fact crafting London from the ground up. Recognizable, changed, warped. A world.
This is crazy. First of all, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again today. The fact that Bethesda looks at this, because they know it's there, doesn't just pay for what these guys worked on and take it and make it a standalone game is mind-boggling to me. But I get it. The bureaucracy of businesses and industries are like, well, this is not in our set plan. If this game comes out and it's out in the world, people are playing this other than our game that we want to play, right? Right now, say what you want, Fallout 76 is that game that they want to play. They want you to play, I should say. Okay? If this game comes out, yes, you have to own Fallout 4, and this is a mod. But again, time is time. And if you're in someone else's game in the Fallout world, they don't want you playing this because it's not official. If it was official, they wouldn't care. But it's not official, and that's why they care.
World where every step shapes your legend, and where the landscape is as deadly as the tales you choose to tell. The game setting includes 15 boroughs of London to openly explore. We begin with areas such as...
Question for those of you in London, because I know there's a couple of you. How many boroughs are there? How many total boroughs are there? And there's also 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. They have 15.
The leafy suburbs of Bromley, with its 261 cells. The trendy canal paths of Camden, with 305 cells. Steel and glass towers in the financial hub of the City of London, boasting 139 cells. 283 cells make up the ruined hellscape of Croydon. Not much change there.
I have a feeling if let's put it on the other. Let's take the veil off for a second, right? What if Todd Howard came out and did the exact same video that we're watching right now, but he came out on stage and then said all the numbers that he's saying right now, right? Right? Let's say he's saying the exact same thing. Like, this is Todd Howard's voice. This is exactly the 1,000 planets. This is exactly the 16 times the detail. You know what I'm saying?
Eastman.
But because it's not him, this is impressive.
A new compact district with exactly 100 cells that blends history and modernity. The home to the echoes of naval stories is Greenwich, with its maritime charm with 460 cells. Hackney, with its vibrant racing heart of 151 cells. Islington's cultural enclave, which offers 102 cells of eclectic charm. The cramped ruins of Lambeth, with 175. Lewisham,
just look at this. It looks so good. Akuta Papa says they should hire these guys, pay them, and release it as an official game. Plus, you get the talent. I agree. That's what I said yesterday. I don't understand. I said this actually months ago on GXG. I was like, I don't understand why they just don't hire these guys. But behind the scenes, it's easier said than done, right? It's easy to say, hey, hire these guys, make some money off them, but it's not in the bigger plan. That's why.
Urban Mosaic, a 182 cell canvas of diversity. Newham.
This still took 4 years for these guys to make, by the way. It wasn't like they just popped it out 6 months.
A dynamic district with 109 cells, where radiation change is the only constant. Historic streets of Southwark, with 437 cells, where every corner whispers tales of yore. Tower Hamlet's 368 cells, of where power and history collide. The open parkland of...
Oh, no, I know, Jones. You're saying great thing about modders is not much incentive to lie. Yeah, no. What I'm saying is just picture Todd Howard saying this. And then the game comes out and they'll be like, it's not 388 cells. You know what I mean? Like, it would be underneath a fine microscope. But because of this, we're like, man, this is amazing. Right? And Sarge says because reasons. Well, the reasons is business, right? That's the reasons. Which sucks. It's about the money, about the profit, about all the stuff. That's exactly what it is.
Wandsworth, and it's 300.
Business ruins things. Okay? It also makes things great, but it also ruins things.
188 cells.
For instance, maybe they didn't make London, okay? Because they would have to go get the license of London. They would have to. Big Ben's in the freaking thing. The bridge is in the thing. There's people that they have to pay to use. It's not just because it's there, it's there.
And Westminster, the political epicenter, boasting 304 cells. Creating these areas has required concepting, design, testing, and onerous nav meshing to ensure they produce a cohesive world that is also engaging for exploration and combat, but with a combined total of 3,764 cells.
I'm assuming cells are the partitions that each of the pieces are made on. Is that correct? Is someone a developer here?
Stock and barrel.
Like, those grids, like each of the things is some of the things. You know what I mean? Like each of the graph paper, each of the squares is a cell.
764 cells. Lock, stock, and barrel. Amongst these eclectic London boroughs are an additional mix of areas, with a final total of 11 fascinatingly diverse world spaces, 337 detailed interior cells, 48 of which are the scale of the base game's Corvega factory, and a total of 7 unique settlements for you to build to your heart.
This is impressive, man. This is impressive.
Content. The total area covered by our world is equivalent to the base game Commonwealth and Far Harbor DLC combined. This lofty world space size makes Fallout London one of the largest mods for Fallout 4 to date. 3D. Populating this huge area has required the creation and adaptation of an enormous number of 3D assets, from the desolate urban sprawl to the tattered armor shaping your character's attire, or the eerie glow of mutated foliage, and the ominous cyber pigeons desecrating forgotten statues. Each element breathes life into the panorama of Old Blighty. Whilst much base content has been reskinned or tweaked to fit a British setting, a great number of items have been made from scratch and new animations developed to support them. They include custom weapons, clothes, races, foliage, London-specific architectural kits, and, of course, finely brewed pots of tea. It also includes...
The best thing about the creation engine and the worst thing about the creation engine is the creation engine, right? The reason Bethesda doesn't want to switch the creation engines is because the modding community can change stuff in the creation engine. And the reason that the modders love the creation engine is because they can do what they want in the creation engine. But at the same time, the creation engine is the reason a lot of the stuff is fucking janky as fuck inside these games.
Many hundreds of miscellaneous assets, from iconic London buses to the humble 3-pin plug to the extra mysterious cute Thulu doll. Every asset meticulously crafted for our setting immerses players in a world rich with roleplay options. Our assets let the player explore a new reality where each detail beckons, inviting you to forge your own path and truly feel the pulse of the unknown. 2D. Our 2D artists have produced a plethora of artwork to populate the world with London-centric content. New signage, posters, graffiti, comic covers, logos, and textures.
I want to back up for a second.
New signage, posters, graffiti, comic covers.
005. I love it. I love it.
Logos and textures help build a believable future London for you to get immersed in. In addition, we have overhauled the user interface with our Attaboy alternative to the Pip-Boy, which includes custom animations for stats, perks, and quests based on the UK's Protect and Survive family.
So good. So I definitely want to get this. Definitely want to get this whenever it comes out.
Music. Fallout London sports a completely new and unique OST, covering all music found in the base game while adding more. It includes a completely new and overhauled soundscape, ambient and gameplay soundtrack, and features 3 new radio stations you can tune into. Whether you are feeling classy on the BBM,
we interrupt this monologue to bring you a stunning development,
or are after some American classics with Crystal Palace Radio.
Hello to all you wonderful listeners.
Or
they made their own radio stations.
Just after some good old-fashioned anarchy in the UK, On the Mend with Dan Bull.
That was freshly squeezed with Animal Soul.
New audio is all part of making our adaptation feel true to London, whilst also integrating seamlessly into the style of the Fallout universe. Our full OST is also available early for you to listen to on our YouTube channel. Gameplay. Much of Fallout 4's acclaim stems from its distinctive mechanics, such as settlements, and we've elevated that legacy with our additions, including a revamped crafting system for ammo and tea, an overhauled perk and dialogue system, skill and perk checks in dialogue.
My word against yours, eh?
Innovative fast travel options, including trains, taxis, and boats.
It's too risky to transport the 3 of us across such choppy waters.
Dynamic weathers, new smoking mechanism,
Yeah, the game's done, Eclipse. The game's done. They just have to wait for the Fallout 4 update to come out because they know when it comes out, it's going to mess up some of the stuff inside their game.
playable guitars, unique uniques, new player animations such as ladder climbing and swimming, with a noteworthy addition, cow milking. Quests. The story and quest lines of the game have entailed some of the greatest amount of work in the mod, involving writers, scripters, voice actors, and audio engineers to produce a breathtaking array of content. Fallout London boasts a collection of 53 new main quests in and around the city. These engaging narratives offer various choices and challenges in the Wayfarer's journey to shape the future of Old Blighty. From self-contained adventures to larger quest lines, players have plenty to uncover outside of their main journey, with a total of 35 side quests.
There's 88 quests. Main quest, 35 side quests.
25 new faction
25 faction quests. But wait, there's more.
quests, intricately tied to the various groups you'll encounter across the city. These quests offer unique challenges and storylines, allowing players to deeply engage with the factions and shape the course of their journey. Uncover artifacts,
Alien's like, there's nothing like a good glass of radioactive milk to start your day.
tie up loose ends, and solve mysteries in the bustling world of Fallout London, with 64 miscellaneous quests
64 miscellaneous quests.
to enhance your experience. On their travels, players may find themselves entangled in the bitter conflict unfolding on the streets of East London. With 16 branching quests, the journey is rich with
Bro. Bethesda. Whatever you're doing right now, right? We know Fallout 5 is not coming out anytime soon. Right? We know that Fallout 5 is not coming out anytime soon. We know that you want StarCraft to be whatever. Bro, put this out. Pay these people. Pay these people to make... They already made the game. It can't be as more buggy than the games you already released. Right? It's probably better. Probably better.
challenges and intrigue, all seamlessly intertwined with the main quest line. There are 7 companions you are able to recruit in the game, including one very British best boy, who we are sure will charm players just as much as Dogmeat. 5 of the companions are more human-ish, and are fully voiced with detailed relationship levels.
Shall we venture out again, matey?
Branching relationship-based dialogue with the player, commentary on the world and events, and their own companion quests. In total, there are just over 90,000 recorded dialogue lines.
That's a Todd Howard line right there. 90,000, because Starfield had 212,000 or 250,000 lines of dialogue
in the game, which is about 1.5 times the size of Fallout New Vegas or Skyrim, and just shy of that found in Fallout 4. However, their protagonist was voiced, and ours is, as the community preferred, silent.
Yeah, you don't have a voice.
Release. Our commitment to delivering as polished an experience as possible will lead us to miss our intended release window. The main reason, to be transparent, is the impact of global issues on a considerable part of our scripting team, including the head of department who comes from one of the areas most affected. This has understandably shifted their focus away from the mod, and while we've managed to catch up through reorganization and reskilling of team members, it has come at the cost of testing. So unfortunate.
Right, this video was done before the news story of Fallout coming out and doing the update for Fallout 4. So they're talking about the delay of the game from originally when it was supposed to release to the April 23rd.
We won't hit the 2023 target we aimed for.
Right. So this is 2023 when they were looking for this.
But the sheer amount of progress we've made this year is immense. That cannot be understated. But our ethos has always been to release when the game is truly ready.
Say it ain't so. You're not even paying for this. right? This is a mod. CD Projekt Red, we're not going to release the game until it's ready. We've heard that before, right? But you can't hold these guys to the same standard because they're not charging you.
Our community stresses avoiding a buggy release like some of our predecessors, and we are committed to a game we can all be proud of for everyone's enjoyment. Now, we've set a specific release date. The release date for Fallout London will be St. George's Day, the 23rd of April, 2024.
Okay, so they picked St. George's Day because that, in the story, is the date, which is April 23rd, okay? And they said if you got this on the day, you would be in that time exactly within the game. Okay, you would start the game on the actual date. But now, since then, they've moved the date because of indefinitely, because of the mods that were going to get messed up by the update from Bethesda. Now, again, we talked about this yesterday. Did Bethesda do this on purpose and release it so they would fuck these guys over? I don't think so. I think they did it because, one, I think their team was still working on the changes, and two, they're taking advantage of their own IP, which is the hot topic right now because of the TV show. And they have every right to do what they're doing, even though it screws these guys over.
As you know, we've consistently operated in quarters, so we're just one quarter over our plans. Close, but no cigar. And for that, we apologize. However, rest assured, anticipate our arrival at the end of the first quarter, perfectly aligning with the debut of the new Fallout TV series to truly...
No, they didn't shut it down. The only reason it's coming or delayed right now, Rose, is because of Fallout 4's update that comes out on the 25th. Okay, because the 25th, they're releasing a fix or the upgrade, and because they're changing the creation engine, all the stuff that they worked on, because this is a mod for Fallout 4, because they're making those changes, it might fuck up what's happening in the coding behind this. So they're indefinitely holding off until that releases so they can make the changes so then they can release the game. See, up to this point, they weren't going to do anything to Fallout 4. But then Fallout 4 said they're going to do an update.
You in the mood. In the coming months, we'll focus on refining, rigorous testing, and balancing to meet the high standards you expect. All of the team are done with their main tasks now and fully support this effort. And we've set a reasonable deadline to ensure careful completion aligning with your expectations. In the meantime, watch out for further updates from the team as we build towards release. If you want to stay up to date with all activity, please join our Discord server. And feel free to support the work of Team Folon.
And this is where they're making the money,
Patreon.
right? Patreon supporters.
As always, stay safe. And remember, mind the gap.
It's very impressive. And as a gamer, and as just a person that doesn't know anything behind the scenes, as a gamer and what they're doing... Oh, wait, there's still more. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so that's super impressive, dude. Super impressive of what they're doing with this mod for a game. Doesn't care about the mods. They're like them. Shutting stuff down isn't Nintendo's job. Yeah, they don't care. They like the mod community doing what they're doing. Right? And a lot of people are two sides. They think that they're stopping them from making this game, or they did this on purpose. And you could say they did it on purpose, but at the same time, the reason that they're doing what they're doing is because their show that got licensed from Amazon is on television right now, or on streaming service right now. So obviously, because they are behind it, they need to put their product out. This is not an official product. Now, talking about an official product, Fallout 5, like I said before, is well far off. I would 100%, just like they did the Pit, just like they did Atlantic City, just like they did stuff like that, I would take this, pay these people, and put this in as a DLC, expansion, something in Fallout 4. Or make it a standalone game, do something, and reward these guys. These guys are passionate Fallout fans that made this. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking to see that stuff like this, they do a better job, but they didn't have someone over their shoulder of corporate office going, well, you got to get this done, you got to get this done. This is volunteers funded by Patreon members that want this game being made, and they did it, and it looks fantastic. And I'm excited to see whenever it comes out. Fallout 4's updates April 26th. Could ruin things. Doesn't mean it will. Could also release in May. Nothing breaks, but check everything. Right. They have to check everything. Make sure it doesn't break. I'm not saying they did it on purpose. I'm just saying fuck them. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, it's their IP. I try to look at stuff like this, Eclipse, in a neutral form. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if I was a member of that team, I'd be like, wow, these fucking assholes. They're trying to stop us from putting this out. But at the same time, it's like they spent millions and billions of dollars on the TV show and licensing and all this other stuff, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna release Fallout 4. I think the problem is, if Bethesda could afford to hire, then pay them. Yeah, but it's like, you don't even have to hire them. You could just buy the game from them and then sign a deal with them for when it sells, they get their cut. Like you are paying them, right? Like, you figure out what their time's worth. You figure out what their time's worth. And they send it off to Bethesda. And then if I was Bethesda, if I was Microsoft or Bethesda, fuck Bethesda. Just take Bethesda out of the equation. If Microsoft sees this, Microsoft should approach them and be like, we would like to make you a deal. Okay? We'd like to make a deal. Make another studio, but based on these guys, you make some dreams come true. Right? These people could make games, and this is what they do. This is a whole team, 200 volunteers. You don't need Bethesda. Microsoft owns Bethesda now. Obviously from the outside looking in, this is a stupid move not to reward these people, not to give them an opportunity to put this out official release. No, because it's free and no copyright infringements. Well, the problem is, who are you going to sue? Right? If you're not charging for the game and it's just out there as a mod, okay? The problem is, PL, if Bethesda is doing this, they have to go through the loops. They have to get the rights to do certain things. Hence why they won't. That's why I'm saying hire their team or pay for the stuff. But this is why maybe they didn't want to go to London. Maybe they have a different maybe they have a different opinion what London would be. Maybe they can't do London because London doesn't want you to do London. Right? There's so many things that you could easily say and be like, well, why don't they do this? There's reasons that the Empire State Building is not in Spider-Man. Right? Or the Chrysler Building. I forget which one they took out. Is because they didn't want to be, because they couldn't get the licensing or the likeness to use inside the game. Right? So maybe London didn't want Big Ben in that state. Right? Just like certain cars in video games, they don't want it to blow up or get damaged because it looks bad for the company. There's stupid shit that happens in the business world that they can't do certain things because certain people, suits, don't want to see it happen. If Microsoft were like Gabe Newell, Gabe hired a Crowbar team that made the fan-made Half-Life remake, Black Mesa. Yeah, but there's a difference, though, Sarge, if you make a game, because back then they weren't making a game based off another game; they were just making the game, right? If this wasn't called Fallout and this was called something else, they can make it a full-fledged game. They can call it Wasteland, right? Call it Wasteland. It's not Fallout. It's Wasteland. It's a different story in their own little realm. Oh, for sure, Quintar. You got to remember, though, these guys are making this because they're fans of Fallout. They're fans of Fallout. That's why they're made the mods. They're like, oh, man, I love Fallout. Imagine if we made a Fallout in London. They're like, dude, that sounds amazing. You know, maybe we should do it. And they're like, you think? Think we could do it? And they're like, yeah, we'll see. We'll put some posts out and see who else can do it. And they're like, all right, let's do what we can do. And voila! What happens? Wasteland tea and crumpets. I'm sold. I'll take that. Fallout Global London. Oh, I see what you're saying. So each one's its own thing. Yeah, look, here's my thing. From a different perspective, YouTubers right now get to take their video cameras, go out in public and film whatever they want. They don't have to get permits or permission or anything like that, right? But if I put a news camera, okay, and I record something, I have to get permission to record or film something if I'm doing a commercial. News is a little different. But if I'm doing a commercial, I have to get permits. I got to get permission. I got to get release forms. I got to do all this stuff. YouTuber comes on and film whatever they want. No questions asked. Okay? But if I'm a business, I have to jump through the hoops. That's the difference. Fallout happens in the US, Metro happens in Russia. That's right. Completely unrelated. And that's the difference between modders and companies. Companies have to jump through hoops. Modders are like, let's just do this. I can do this. They don't have to ask permission. They don't have to ask certain things. They ask for forgiveness later. Hence why the Star Wars mods or Star Wars things that happen or the Grand Theft Auto things, cease and desist, don't do this. Right? For instance, I could build a shed on my property. I don't have to ask anybody. But if someone from the city drives by and says, hey, I don't remember that shed back there, I get fined. Okay? If you do it correctly, you got to go through the city to get permits and regulations and do all the stuff. It's the same thing when you're doing video games and when people are making mods. It's easy for us to stand on one side and go, well, that's fucking stupid. That's right, Argus. That's exactly right. Not only do you have to pay, but you got to take it down, then get the permits, and then build it back up in their way. That's right. That's exactly right. Well, it's funny, Akuda, that you say that because on farmland, it's zoned as agriculture. Okay? So a farm doesn't actually have to follow the same standards as the neighbor across the street because it's for the animals or whatnot, right? So you don't have to get permits for certain things on a farm. Other things you do. So we have a store on our property, and because it's a store, we had to make a bathroom. And to make a bathroom, you had to get from the city because that's not zoned anymore as agriculture. It's a business now. A mobile chicken station. All right. Good times, guys. Good times. We'll be back tonight for some more gameplay. Not sure. Maybe we'll play Game Thrones and Liberty. Maybe we'll try that. If not, we'll play some more Fallout 76 tonight. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Quintar, thank you very much for the gifted memberships earlier in the stream. Appreciate it very much, and I'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for some gameplay. Peace.